Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Second round of talks between the Russians and the Americans announced again for Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. And this was announced by none other than the Middle East envoy. So this United States of America's appointed envoy, Mr. Witkoff, Jewish, he is appointed as the envoy for the Middle East, but he's also the one who deals with Ukraine and Russia. I have to remind you, for people who don't know, obviously I'm joking, that neither Russia nor Ukraine are in the Middle East. I said it before and I will say it again. Mr. Witkoff will eat Mr. Marco Rubio's bread. That is, he's going to take care of Marco Rubio. I don't think Marco Rubio is really our Secretary of State. I think Mr. Witkoff is. And mark my words, he's going to be the next Blinken-Stein, because he's a Witkoff-Stein. All right, so that's the first topic. Second one, we all know how people like me, or like you maybe, are supposed to be addressed as Putin, I don't know, apologist, Putin on Putin's payroll. Every time we say something that's true but doesn't fit their narrative, we are called, probably you were in your life as well, Putin apologist. You're not supposed to say anything positive about Putin, even if it's positive. That applies to all our leaders, where they decided we should hate, or the ones that they decided we should love. Like, for instance, right now we're supposed to love Macron, Olaf Scholz, Starmer, all these baboons, and Zelensky Stein by definition, Mr. Trudeau, but Trudeau is out. But we are supposed to hate others, like Trump and Putin and many others from our history. Now, they have to make a choice right now. Which should be hate more? Donald Trump or Putin? And I will show you why by the way they make the articles. Probably it's a neck in a neck fight between Trump and Putin's hatred that we're supposed to feel. Like in George Orwell's dystopian novel 1984, the 5 minutes of hate. It's exactly what we required. Why? So we don't direct our hatred towards them. All right, so we find out what actually Putin wants in exchange. I think it's logical, and I said it before, in exchange for the ceasefire. The ceasefire will not just occur with nobody shoots at nobody and everything else goes. No, there are details, and the details are right here, which is a very logical, adult-like detail. Then we find out that Germany's Scholz, that baboon who unfortunately is in charge of the German nation, he demands a ceasefire in Ukraine. But who are you? They don't understand that they are irrelevant. I'm talking about the European guys. Now, and the last topic for this video is France will defend Germany from the boogeyman Putin and maybe Trump. How? With nuclear weapons. I know, it's funny, isn't it? All right, let's start with the first article. This comes from No Voice of Ukraine from March 19th, 2025. This is the title. United States, Russia set talks in Jeddah. Ukraine's role unclear. So this is a foreign policy, foreign policy development, how do you want to call it? And we have Mr. Witkoff-Stein. The United States and Russia will hold talks in Jeddah in March 23. U.S. Special Envoy for Middle East, Steve Witkoff-Stein, told Fox News following the March 18th phone call between President Donald Trump and Russian dictator Vladimir Putin, public broadcast reported. So, the only thing that Mr. Witkoff has to do with this meeting is that this occurs in Saudi Arabia. That's it. He is no part of any negotiations. But wait, he is. Because I have to remind you, in the first meeting, he participated. He was part of the United States delegation in negotiating with Russians. So he was a Treasury Secretary, American, and then he was Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State. What was this guy doing over there? I'm telling you, this guy is the one. And remember, this guy went to see Putin twice, and to Russia twice, at least one releasing the guy who was a prisoner over there, and he released it, Putin, and the other time when he went to Putin to discuss the meeting and the ceasefire and so on. Why does America send this kind of people to talk what we want? You understand the semantics I used? Why? Why do we have to have this kind of people always involved in our foreign policy? And they're very active and very visible. That's bad for them. Well, of course I know why. Keep an eye on your investments very closely because you don't trust the other ones. So that's why they're over there. So let's go to the next article with the same topic. Ukrainska Pravda. Trump's envoy Witkoff announces new round of peace talks in Jeddah on 23rd of March. Shouldn't be Marco Rubio or the State Department's spokesman or woman? Shouldn't they be the ones announcing? Why is this guy now? Why this guy? My point is, why is this guy even involved in this? Why are you? Steve Witkoff, Trump's special envoy to the Middle East. Now, I have a problem with him being the envoy in the Middle East, but it's a different story on its own. Why? Let's say the Romanians are fighting tomorrow the Hungarians, all right, militarily. They have a big problem. And the Romanians are beating the shit out of the Hungarians. Or the other way around, doesn't really matter, right? But let's say that that's the case. And let's say I, born in Romania, or of Romanian genetics, okay, and culture, I just appointed as the envoy to Europe. And I'm sent to deal, in the name of the United States of America's arm and strength, with the conflict between the Romanians and the Hungarians. Do you think that I will be 100%, and I'm nice saying 100%, objective and impartial and look for the American interests, or I will use the American power to destroy the Hungarians because I am Romanian? Do you think that that's going to play a part as how do you call it? As what meow? All right. As virtuous as I be, as principled as I be, as all that, I'm still going to. So, but hey, they are different because they are portrayed by their Hollywood as being better than us morally. No, that's a lie. So I have a problem with that. What will they discuss? The main topic of the meeting is the details of the agreements, particularly regarding a 30-day ceasefire. So that's not signed. It was a verbal agreement between Trump and Putin. Nothing signed, just verbal. That means nothing the Russians got to understand after the promise in 1991. NATO, no expansion eastward 1 inch, not even 1 inch. There was a promise, gentleman agreement. And the so-called civilized West, the Democrats and the capitalists, lied. Of course they did. I mean, why not? Next one. This is where we're supposed to hate Trump on top of this guy right here. Why? And how would you be called if you say something positive about Putin? And this is the title. Putin outshines Trump in talks, military analyst says. How can you say that? This is a Putin apologist. He's on Putin's payroll probably. No? That's how we're called when we point out that, hey, he was right over there. Hey, he didn't lie over there. Hey, maybe he has a point over there. Maybe that's a justification. No, you should not do that. You are a Putin, blah, 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 blah. Now you see that things change. Why? They're not sure which one we should hate more now. And it seems like they're going to be neck and neck. So this is the media for you, and the way these guys sell hatred to us. To us. Remember in 1921, I think it was, that evil guy that we all supposed to hate 100%. He has nothing. He's just a pure evil. He wrote 2 books. Actually, 1 book, 2 volumes. And Mr. Rudolf Hess was the one typing it, tick, 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 for him while in prison. And in that book, this evil guy said, you know what, noticing how media works then in Vienna, which was in the early 1900s in Vienna, where he was over there as a loser, always a loser, okay? That's how you have to. And he didn't have any talent, man. He was rejected twice by the Vienna's arts, because, it was so easy to get in there, like nowadays. Nevertheless, so he said over there that the media, the newspapers owned by Witkoff, Stein, can destroy an honorable person, or can make the worst person being like the most important and loved person in 1 week. And that's true. That's when I read that. I think I was about 17, 19, no, 18, 17. I think it was 17 when I read that book. Right after the revolution in Romania, 1989. So guess my age. Then when I read that, I was like, oh, really? And I paid attention since then, and it was easy to notice how the operatives can destroy someone's character and make you hate that person, and how they make you love, I don't know, Zelensky, for instance, and how you're supposed to love, I don't know, Maria Callas, the foreign soprano of the European Union foreign minister appointed, how you're supposed to love all these jackals, and you're supposed to hate whomever they tell you to hate, and see nothing good in those guys, nothing. All right, sorry for my parenthesis. Let's move to the next one. Ukrainska Pravda. Putin wants United States to stop all arms shipments to Ukraine for truce. Bloomberg. That makes 100% sense. I mean, and I said it many times before. I mean, it's like ABC 1, 2, 3. It's not, oh my, rocket science here. If I stop and I'm beating you right now, I give you a chance to recuperate, receive weapons, reassess, build defenses. I don't want that to happen. If we freeze it right now as it is. We're not going to be like, like in the boxing, the first round, and then the towel, and then the woo, and no, it's nothing like that. No, you just freeze. Okay, just kidding. But anyway, so it makes sense. And these guys are all baffled by Putin's demand. He doesn't want ceasefire. There are details. I told you, when it's an agreement between 2 parts, you negotiate. I'm not going to give you my car for whatever price you ask. I'm going to tell you my price. First, if it's for sale, you can't make me. But these guys, no, Emil is bad. He should not negotiate. He just should sell the 30-day agreement just like that. Sell the car as the other guy wants. The guy who's losing, he wants the car. I don't want to sell the car. You wants to buy a car, and I have a car. So you come to me, and then you tell me that I should accept your what exactly? Beat it. Anyway, next one. Let me show you how Germany thinks it's important. It's important. It used to be, but hey, they lost the Second World War. Germany's Scholz demands, oh my God, demands full Ukraine ceasefire as soon as possible. I mean, there's no yet, now, no, not tomorrow. This is like the Gestapo. Give us the information right now. Jesus Christ. First, these guys are way ahead of their skills. These guys live in a mirage. Live in I found a new word for this. They live in a simulation. They're in a simulator. They're not flying, but they think they're flying. So this guy thinks that he is what he is, but he's not. He lives in that, we demand as soon as possible. Well, as soon as possible, maybe it's in 5 years. That's it. When it's as soon as possible. Only in 5 years. But hey, you gotta wait. And first, who are you to demand? Who are you to demand? Scholz and, I'm sorry to say it, Germany. You're in no position to demand anything but maybe beg your thing to, I don't know, tell you something. And let's see how France protects Germany with nuclear armed jets. I mean, these guys, as I said, these guys live in a delusional mirage, how they call it, whatever, simulation. The Telegraph. Macron, another wannabe, and not is. Macron plans to send nuclear armed jets to German border. Oh, I'm the big leader now. Yes, here I am. 5'1" or how tall he is, and he wants 5'2" or something. Anyway, nuclear armed fighter jets will be sent at an airbase near France-German border by 2035. Are they going to ship them by train? Because they can't fly after our French jets. Emmanuel Macron sending a sign of his country's willingness to extend its deterrent to protect Berlin from Russia. From Russia. My friends, if you want to watch a comedy, you got to read these articles. Really, when you look at it like, my God, this is funny. Don't watch the clowns. Don't watch these guys. So France will defend. I thought the United States of America defends them. Oh, the United States of America will not defend them anymore. But why should someone defend Germany after all? Why can't Germany defend itself? It's not allowed. Why? Because it's been under occupation since 1945, as they lost the war because of the evil guy. That tells you a lot. But Germany demands, and it needs those guys to defend them. I mean, you can't see how childish this is. I mean, all these things should just help people who are not there yet, are still on the fence or not even climbing the fence, to jump on the other side to realize these guys are, how do you call it, infantile at best and criminal at real. In order to be in these positions, this is something I realized a few years ago. In order to be in a position of power, Democrat or not Democrat, tyrant goes by definition, I think you have to have a mentality, and that mentality should be giving you the ease to commit crimes. To say, okay, we're going to impose sanctions on that country, we're going to bombard that country, we're going to invade that country based on lies. And you know there are lies, and you do it. That's a criminal mind. I think all these guys who were selected in positions of power, like Macron, Starmer, Trump, Putin, all these guys, and I mean Scholz maybe, all these guys must have that mind, including their Secretary of States, foreign ministers, and the defense. There must be. And I told you the story with Madeleine Albright and the 500,000 Iraqi children that perished because of the U.S. sanctions. Children, children. And she was asked, remember Madeleine Albright, she's a Zelensky Stein, remember Madeleine Albright Stein, and she all revered as Madame Baba. She said in that interview in 60 Minutes, I'm going to always say this. Always. For me, that was like the end of the conversation. These guys are criminals. When she was asked, do you think, Madam Secretary of State, that it was worth those sanctions, and 500,000 Iraqi children died because of the sanctions? Do you think the price was worth it? And she said, yes, the price was worth it. So she was okay with that. I was like, don't ever tell me about humanitarian aid and self-defense of that country or so on. No, my friend. We are not different than the human beings we were, 200 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, 8,000 years ago. We're the same guys. We're a little bit more veneered. We appear civilized, but in the middle, it's the same garbage. Rumegush. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.